Hey guys, and welcome back. Mango have started their Cyber Week sale today and I'm really excited to show you some of my top picks from the sale. Mango always do an amazing Black Friday sale and it is time of the year that I do buy a few pieces because I just love their stuff. I feel like I could have everything from Mango. I did do a haul not too long ago, so I'm also going to have that linked below, as well as all of the information for the sale, so the percentages off, any promo codes that you may need, links, and sizes, any information, it should be down in the description box, so just have a little look there. But as always, you guys know the drill. I'm going to be trying things on at full length so that you can see what it looks like. And I'm between a size 8 to 10, usually a small in Mango. So I'm just going to get straight on in. If you are new, I would love it if you subscribed. I'm going to be doing lots of Black Friday content, so hit that button and you won't miss out on any of the other videos. And I'm going to start with this jumper. It's quite a high neck, but having said that, it's not one that you feel too restricted in. It's really soft fabric, so as you can see, it just pulls down really easily. It's not going to give you a stiff neck by the end of the day. It's in quite a nice colour. It's definitely more on the whitey side of ivory, but it's not a stark white, which I think always looks a little bit more expensive. It's really soft on. I don't feel any itchiness from it. And it is just that little bit on the oversized side, not so much in the arm, but definitely in the body. It's quite long in the body, so it does cover all the way under to my bum. So this is the kind of piece that you're gonna probably wear not tucked in, and something that you'll have quite oversized, maybe putting it over some skinny jeans with some long boots on and getting that really cozy vibe. So this coat might be one of my favorite items of this whole season. I've fallen very much in love with it. Now, I wasn't supposed to be buying any beige or light coloured coats this year. I have enough, I didn't need any. And I actually bought from Mango in this colour last year, which is one of my all-time, well, it probably is my favourite coat. I wear it all of the time and I always get compliments on it. I just feel really good in it. And I actually wore it in a video recently and I was looking for an alternative so that I could link something for you guys for this year. And I came across this one on the Mango website and I basically talked myself into buying it, which I know isn't great, but if I love it as much as I loved the previous year's one, last year's one, which I'll put a little picture up of here, then I know I'm gonna love this one. So anyway, I've explained myself enough. It is gorgeous. I feel like it just looks so elegant with this lovely sweeping large collar. It reminds me quite a lot of a Reese coat. Reese used to come out with a lot of coats with this kind of style, and I just think it looks so elegant. The coat itself, which you might not be able to tell, actually has a stripe design going across it. So it might be kind of like more of a diagonal stripe. And it's got a lighter beige and then much more of an oatmeal type beige running through it. I think that's really nice because it gives the coat a little bit of a texture. And then it's really flattering because it just poppers across the side, and then it also has a belt which really pulls you in at the waist. And what I also really like about this coat is that all of the hardware is in this gorgeous gold colour, and all of my jewellery is gold, as you guys know. So having the little gold accents also on the sleeve here, for me, it's just a really nice touch because it makes the outfit just look a little bit more pulled together. It's really quite warm because it's wool and it's beautifully lined inside. I always pick my coats up in a size 10 because, as you can see, I like to be able to put a really chunky jumper underneath them. And for length, I think it falls perfectly because it comes just that little bit above the ankle, so it doesn't make you look, sometimes I think if you have a really long coat, can make you look a little bit short, but I love wearing midi dresses and midi skirts, and sometimes it looks a little bit silly when your coat is hanging so far above them, so this one comes to that perfect length for a midi length. And now I'm wondering how many times I said love throughout that clip. Hopefully it hasn't irritated you guys, but you get the gist. I really like the coat. Next up, I do have another polo neck, but this one is totally different. It's much more of a basic layering piece for me. It's gorgeously soft, absolutely gorgeously soft, and it's much more of a thin knit. As you can see, it's quite figure hugging and light. Now I find these pieces perfect for a day perhaps when I'm going to be in a cafe, or if I'm going out shopping and I'm running from shop to shop. You've got a big coat on and you just feel a little bit claustrophobic with a lot of layers. You don't particularly need to be really warm. But I will say that probably November, December, January, and definitely into February, polo necks are kind of like my thing. I tend to be picking them out time and time again. Partly because I think it's nice that you get to see it a lot underneath a coat, whereas so many of the jumpers you don't get to see when you're wearing a coat, and pretty much throughout this time of the year, you're only wearing a coat. So it's nice to have something which just gives a little bit of a style. And I picked this one up in this lovely, it's almost a bit more of a pinky beige. And I think of these kind of as like my thermal building layer. You can put them under dresses or jumpsuits. They're also great for pieces like high-waisted skirts. because you don't want too much material. Yeah, just a really good basic for the wardrobe. And I thought that I'd show you another coat next, perhaps so that you could compare to the cream one. And coats are also something that I buy a lot of on Black Friday, probably because they're the higher price items. Now this one, I will say, probably doesn't go with this jumper that I've just tried on underneath. I think it's a little bit too similar in colour, but something a little bit darker or perhaps lighter underneath would look lovely. And I picked up this grey coat because I actually don't have that many smart grey coats. And I thought that it would be nice to get that lighter kind of colour tone, but without being too cream. Partly because I have so much cream already in my wardrobe. And this one really reminded me of the one that I had last year, and as you guys know, I've already said that I love that one. It has the dark buttons, but this one is actually double-breasted, which I think just looks so sleek and sophisticated. And this one also wraps in the middle, but it's just much more of a simple tie. I also picked up this one in size 10. Again, it's that perfect kind of length, and I just, to be honest, feel like I could buy any Mango coat and fall absolutely in love with them. For Cyber Week, I always start looking into the festive season wear, so things that I'm going to be wearing for kind of New Year or just around the festive season, usually things that have a little bit of glitz. But I also like to buy things that I'm going to get a lot more use out of, and this dress is one of them. It's definitely that dress that you can dress up or dress down. I think it would look amazing for a night out with some really sparkly earrings and also perhaps like a really gorgeous champagne coloured sparkly belt. But then equally, you could pair this one during the week just with your normal suede belt and some longer boots. So if you're not one that goes out all the time and you kind of resent having to buy party wear just for this like 1 to 2 months in the season, then this one could be a really good option. It's got a lovely low V, but it's not at all revealing, and it's not something that you're going to be falling out of. I absolutely adore the colours. You guys will know I've been crushing on green, and I love my neutrals and my beiges, and it's got all of that in. So it's got this gorgeous forest dark green, and then it's got a navy, and then it's got the caramel, and also that lovely pinky tone, which is just totally me. But if you're not wanting to wear something that is all out cream or perhaps all out black, this gives you the best of both worlds. You can still wear it with your lovely light coloured coats, or if you're not even into light coloured coats, you can wear it with a lovely navy coat. So the options are endless, and also if you wanted something that you could wear to more than one event, maybe you could pair it with some light boots and light accessories, and then another time pair it with darker accessories. So more about the dress, it's actually just a little cut off on the arm. It doesn't come with a belt itself, but I feel like it could really lend itself for a belt. For me, I picked this one up in a size 8, and it fits me quite nicely, but definitely around the waist it's just a little bit roomy, but it's quite tight on the shoulders and the arms. So I think you're better off going for your true size and then belting it and having it a little bit looser around the waist. And then the bottom part comes to about midi length, and it's a lovely and pleated and has that perfect swoosh butt to do it. I may have said in my previous Mango haul that I wasn't a sparkly thread jumper kind of girl, and I'm taking that back. I'm totally taking that back. However, I didn't like the sparkly thread jumper that I had in the last Mango haul, and I saw this one on their site. I did know that it had glitter in. At first, I was a little bit like, oh, I wish that it didn't, but this jumper reminded me so much of the kind of thing that Suzanne brings out, and I love their delicate, detailed knits that I thought, I'm going to go for it and see if I like it. And you know what? I really do like it. I think the sparkle is so subtle on this when you barely see it, and I feel like because of the design, it makes it just seem that little bit more expensive. I don't know, let me know your thoughts. You might not be able to see it very well through the camera, but I picked up this one in grey. I do believe that they have it in a few other colours, and then it has a silver sparkly thread running through it. But my absolute love from this one, as I've said, is just the gorgeous design that runs through, and because it's quite a nice crew neck, it's not too chunky, and it's that perfect thing to go with a skirt. I actually have it on with a skirt at the moment that I'm going to talk about next. As you can see, I've had to tilt you down to show you the skirt, but I'll probably just overlay an image over all of this so that you can see it in its full glory. I thought that this skirt was quite unusual, and it could be a piece that you could wear in your wardrobe for loads of occasions, so it would be lovely for work. You could definitely dress it up for a night out, but you could also wear it quite casually. It's in this gorgeous black suede material, and it has gold buttons running down the side. These buttons, you can't actually use, they're just there for the effect, but I always think that buttons or detail to the side is quite slimming on the figure. And then as those buttons end, it just opens up and it just gives you a little bit of a slit. I feel like it's just that little bit sexy, but it's also not too revealing, and it comes just to the knee, which is a really nice length. It's also just super, super comfortable. I got this one in a size small, and what I would say is that it fits perfectly once it's on, but I did have to like shimmy it a little bit over my hips. Now that may just be my hips, but it's the kind of skirt that when you're putting it on, you're like, oh, will it fit? And then you get it up and it fits absolutely perfectly. And as we were talking about a little bit of glitter in the fabric, this one has the most subtle, really subtle black thread going through it, which just has a little bit of a glisten to it. I wouldn't even say that it was glitter, but as it catches the light, it just has this slight sheen to it. It turns out I have a thing for light coloured jumpers from Mango, but I wear them quite a lot of the year. I feel like half of the year you're in jumpers, so why not have a lot of them? I found for this one because of the buttons, and I actually felt like it went really nicely with the skirt that I'm just about to show you next. And sometimes when I see things that I think are going to pair really nicely, I just pick them up. Because if there's anything that I've learned, if you see some things that go really nicely together, just go with it. This jumper I picked up in a size small. It's super soft, and it's just that type of material that washes really nicely. It's the same material that I had the pink jumper from last year from Mango, and I also had in my previous haul a lovely camel coloured jumper that just had this little bit of a neck. I love this height and neck. I just think it sits really nicely, but my favourite detail about this was the gold buttons. And this piece again actually reminded me of a jumper that Suzanne have in at the moment, so it's got that kind of French style to it, but obviously this one is at a much lower price point. Another skirt and another awkward head tilt, so I'm just going to overlay this with some video of me trying it on. So this one is what I call a long-ish midi skirt. It's definitely not midi. It hits me way under my bum, which is nice. Bending down will be absolutely fine. And I quite like when a midi skirt in the winter isn't too mini, because I usually wear it with over the knee boots. And I like when you don't see too much skin because, well, it's pretty cold in the winter. This one is in a brown corduroy, but I'd say it's much more on the caramel tone than the really deep brown, and it buttons up in the middle with some silver buttons, which does mean that I'm clashing my hardware, but I don't mind so much for this skirt. And it is so soft and comfortable. It is super stretchy. It could be a sweet little outfit that you're thinking of wearing on Christmas Day, and I know that pretty much everybody out there is going to be overeating on Christmas Day. You want something comfy, and I think this would be a lovely skirt which you could get away with wearing way into the new year. Oh, and I picked up the skirt in a size small. I would say it's on the larger size because it's quite a stretchy material. Size small fits me perfectly because I like it to be a little bit roomy. There's nothing worse than feeling really restricted in a mini skirt. But if you're on the cusp of sizes, I would definitely go down a size. And the last item I have to show you is this lovely dress, and upon trying it on, it actually is the same style as this dress here, pretty much exactly the same. The fit and material, I'd say, are very similar. The only difference is that the V-neck on me is gapping on this one a little bit more. It's not too much, but it's just a little bit lower. And obviously this one is in a totally different fabric. It feels really fiery. It's got a black background, but then it's got all of the warm reds and oranges and creams to it. And I thought that this one would be really gorgeous paired with perhaps a burgundy or red bag and shoes. And similarly to this dress here, you could definitely wear it of an evening, perhaps to a nice meal, but you could also wear it during the day. And because it is pretty much the same as this one, I'm not going to bore you guys with talking about it too much, and I guess you just want to see it on. And that is my selection of pieces from the Mango Cyber Week sale. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. As I mentioned earlier, I will also link my previous Mango video below, and hopefully I'll put it on the screen at the end also, so that you can check out all of those pieces which will also be in the sale. Please do subscribe if you liked it, and also give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are shopping the Cyber Week sales. I usually pick up all of my Christmas gifts and also do a little bit of splurging for myself. And I'd love to know what you guys are picking up, and I will see you guys all in my next one. Bye!